From the Clark Ford Studio in Oxford, Mississippi, MBW Digital proudly presents the Oxford Exxon Podcast.
I'd say thanks for tuning in, but why am I going to give you a round of applause for something you're supposed to do, to be frank?
And now, here are your hosts, Chase Parham.
And broadcast school has really paid off.
And Neal McCready.
I deserve to be on TV.
Welcome to this Wednesday edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal McCready, Clark Ford Studio this morning. Football, maybe some basketball, a little baseball. Schedule was announced yesterday, and more coming up on today's show. That's brought to you every single day by the Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West in Oxford, and all Blue Sky locations throughout Mississippi. They've got the free gas for a year sweepstakes going on right now. I've been telling you about it for a while. Pick up that Mobile Rewards Plus card, use it at any Blue Sky pump in Mississippi. At least 8 gallons of gas, you're automatically entered into the free gas for a year sweepstakes. You've got that coming. October 31st is the deadline. You can enter as many times as possible. Again, 8 gallons or more, and you're automatically entered. Also, use Oxford Exxon for your tailgating this weekend. Pulled pork, ribs, side items, and much more there with the Oxford Exxon. Again, coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes of business hours. It's that simple. There's no hassle. There's no hackle. It's just right to the bottom line. And here's what you get, because I've done it 3 times now. You get a great product, obviously. That's what you're there for. But you also get great service after the sale. That's the big thing. Corey's going to take care of you after you take your vehicle off the lot, after they deliver the vehicle to you, whatever the case may be. They're going to make sure that you know how to get in touch with them. They're going to answer your questions. They're going to be there for you. He wants to be your car guy. He wants to be your truck guy. It's a different kind of service. I know it's hard to understand that. Give him a call. You'll start to understand what I mean. 662-257-1900.
So last night, we'll get to some stuff. We've kind of got a little bit of a scattered show for you today. I'd been watching something on the Golf Channel, just kind of in the background while I was doing a little work yesterday afternoon, and Carly Ann came in, sat on the couch, and I was going to find her, flip something for her or whatever, and she goes, I want to watch baseball. And I thought, well, that's different, new. Okay, let me see what I can do about that. And I guess I took a 3-year-old at a little too much credit on she actually knew what that was. So I started turning the channel, and she starts having a panic attack. I'm like, what? I realized that she's calling golf baseball, and for some reason, she, a 3-year-old, wanted to watch golf last night. She was sitting there following it with her eyes, really rooting for them to hit the ball in the, quote, river, which was any body of water that was around that the golf balls could go in. So I think she was rooting for chaos, but she was actually into golf last night.
I like that she likes a little chaos.
Yeah.
Hit the ball into the river.
She did not want to see the ball in the green. She did not want to see the ball in the hole. She wanted the ball in the water.
Understandable.
Yeah, to the point of I almost pulled up on YouTube, just like, I'm sure there's some videos somewhere where just balls go in the water over and over and over.
Oh, there's everything you could possibly want is on YouTube.
Yeah, hopefully more soon.
Well, certainly hope so, given the bill that I'm staring at on my screen right this moment.
You're working toward that very quickly, aren't you, one way or the other?
Yeah. The people who say we don't invest in our products, I have tangible proof that we do.
You also have tangible proof that it can cost whatever you would like for it to cost. You know what I mean?
There's no doubt about that.
It can get crazy in a hurry if you'd like it to.
Yeah. I said, Jay, what do I need? And he sends me this long list, and I said, no, what do I need?
Yeah, that's cute, Jay, but really.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be all right. We're on schedule here. Get it figured out.
Yep.
Do we have a cute little name yet, or are we going very generic?
I don't know. I haven't. I can honestly say I have not given that a thought.
Me neither.
Haven't thought about that.
Okay. Getting to several other things today. Let's see, anything else I kind of have off the top of my head as we get going. What happened last night? So I see you had a few people mad at you on Twitter for giving away state secrets that a defensive lineman said.
Yeah.
I see that said defensive lineman may or may not have said who the starting quarterback is. When it's, I think I kind of disregard it, meaning we don't really know. We're just all talking. So I didn't take anything that was said very seriously last night.
Well, here's the scenario.
Yep.
And some of you out there who think this is the most serious stuff in the world are not going to enjoy this part of the conversation. So the first 6 periods of practice were open to the media, and we're all out there watching for one thing.
By the way, that's about a half hour. A period is 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, we're out there for about 30 minutes, and we're all out there to watch one thing.
Quarterbacks.
Because, listen, I get when you are a diehard fan, and most of you listening to this are, everything is compelling. However, when you're a reporter looking for something to actually write about that you can make it somewhat interesting, you need a storyline. Last week, if you were covering Arkansas, for example, Nick Starkel returning to play A&M. It's a storyline. You need something that has a story to it. And yeah, everybody out there is a story. I could make a story out of Jonathan Mingo. Hey, you caught a few balls last week. Was that fun? Yep, good. You're building on that. But that's not particularly compelling for a story. It's just a little note. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
The story, and the only story right now, is who's the quarterback? Is Corral healthy? He was out there. He was throwing. He was not going. Didn't appear to be limited. What we saw, you couldn't tell who was getting the number 1 reps because they were all getting equal reps in drills. So who's the starting quarterback? Is Corral healthy? How are you guys going to make this work? There's this thing called the transfer portal that looms over Ole Miss and every other program. What's up? That's the story. So after we get asked to leave practice after 6 periods, which we're told beforehand, 6 periods, then you're out. Cool, no problem. Truth is, most of us really don't want to be out there much longer than that. We're asked, who do you want to talk to? And I wasn't there for that. I had to go run an errand, but I know who got requested. It was the quarterbacks. And, hey, is there every player from the Nashville area, can we get one of them? Instead, we got Royce Newman, who is from Nashville, but it's Nashville, Illinois, not Tennessee.
Be more specific, Neil, frankly. I mean, I don't know what you're rapping about.
Yeah. We got Tyrone Nix. Okay.
He does have some history in the Nashville area.
That's true.
He coached at MTSU.
That's true.
Again, what are you rapping about? I don't understand.
And for the record, I'm not griping.
I know. I'm messing with you.
Yeah, I know, but some people out there would think this is griping. My philosophy is I'm going to request, if you say no, you say no. That gives me the ability to say that, hey, we requested and we didn't get it. It's good, whatever. It's your program. Do what you want with it from an access standpoint. I know how I would run mine, but I'll never have one, so it doesn't matter. And then we got Jack Bicknell. And so, frankly, Kadir was first in, and I was bored. I wasn't even videoing. I put my recorder in there just in case he said something interesting, and frankly did not intend to use it. So the question was asked, I think by David Johnson, hey, you guys, trying to get to the quarterback against this guy, Riley Neal, blah, blah, blah. How do you get to him? And Kadir made a comment about, he gets rid of it really fast. So I don't know. We've got some combo packages in this week. And then he caught himself and he kind of smiled and said, I'm not supposed to say that. And so Parrish offered, in a moment of humor, said to him, well, who's the quarterback? Like, hey, if you're giving away secrets. And he said, I don't remember exactly, but he said, Plumlee, I think my boy Plumlee, and then he kind of caught himself again, realizing I probably wasn't supposed to say that. And Kadir is on that team, one of the more personable kids. He's fun to talk to. We like him. He jokes with us. He has a decent time talking to the media.
He was so good. Was it last year or 2 years ago when they asked him something like, "Hey, you transfer over here, and the team goes 5-7 or something," and he goes, "Well, I mean, I came from Syracuse. I thought 5 was pretty good."
Yeah. And, for whatever reason, people get, oh, God, paranoid. I mean, it's just college football, guys.
Yeah.
And like I said last night, Derek Mason's been doing this a while. They're preparing for both quarterbacks.
Yeah, Mason did not wake up Sunday morning going, "Oh, God, I've got 2 quarterbacks to prepare for."
No.
Okay, fine, whatever.
They've watched every snap of Ole Miss's season. They know what Corral does. They now know what Plumlee does. They're preparing for both. And Ole Miss is playing at Coy, as it should, to force them to prepare for both. They're preparing for both anyway. This isn't that complicated. This is not the Ukraine thing. It's pretty simple stuff. One quarterback runs it more than the other, but they both run it. I mean, Corral ran the ball a lot against Cal. A lot. So if you're Vanderbilt, ta-da, you're preparing for a running quarterback. One's a little faster than the other, maybe a lot faster than the other. But Corral's an athletic kid. You're preparing for both quarterbacks. But they're running one system. You now have 5 games of that offense on tape. You have a decent clue what's coming. In the same way, Ole Miss knows what's coming. So, anyway, I thought it was funny. I made a funny tweet, what I thought was a funny tweet. Most people thought it was funny. I made the joke that I said, well, that's the last we'll see of Kadir this year, meaning we won't get him in media interviews. And then you get these people that come back with this, you shouldn't have done that. It's for the love of God. Number one, there's 8 people standing there videoing every word. If I don't use it, someone else is going to. And then, again, he said, I think, and he's laughing. And who cares?
It was finally some personality. Frankly, it kind of was interesting. It was not boring for a minute.
No, on a day when, frankly, it was getting kind of boring. I mean, y'all want some insight into reporters' lives? We go to the practice, and then we wait 2 hours for post-game stuff, post-practice stuff. It's kind of boring.
Yeah, we're not playing Yahtzee or something. Just sitting.
Yeah. I mean, I go in there, and that's when I'll work on my mailbag. I work on picks, but I was already, because I haven't slept well this week. I've been up at 3 in the morning. 2 out of the 3 mornings, I'm done with mailbag. I'm done with picks. I'm waiting for you and Jeffrey to put picks in, and I'm finished. I don't really have anything to work on. And so I ran errands yesterday. I had a couple things I needed to go do. And so I missed some of that. But frankly, it's kind of, I mean, we're at that point of the season where need something to happen. Need a game. We'll be able to write more quarterback stuff after the Vanderbilt game. And if Ole Miss wins, there will be a focus on Missouri. And if Ole Miss loses, quite frankly, a lot of us are going to be hitting up the basketball people with, hey, can we talk to anyone? It's reality. Sometimes people say, peel back the curtain on your job. That's the curtain. A lot of people on the beat are sitting around asking themselves, if they lose to Vanderbilt, and for the record, I don't think they're going to lose to Vanderbilt, but if they lose to Vanderbilt, what are we writing the rest of the way? Not a lot there. Certainly no suspense at that point.
Well, because look, Vanderbilt, we talked about how, hey, they played okay against Georgia. They got beat 30-6. Purdue beat them, put up 40-something points. LSU just demolished them on the offensive side of the football. Now, Vanderbilt did score 38, but they lost by 30.
LSU scored at will.
And then they beat Northern Illinois 24-18. They didn't cover. Half point got you there. They're not good. They're not even average. Like it's a bad football team.
No, I'm not sure that they would beat Arkansas today.
Wonder how many college football teams in history have played Rebels 2 weeks in a row. They play Ole Miss, then UNLV.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, I don't think Northern Illinois is the Rebels, are they?
No, but UNLV is.
Yeah. That's not many, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, because this is why it's a sort of a weird game for Vanderbilt. Like I said, I think they're losing, and they're just going to suck the rest of the way. It's not going to matter. But if they found a way to win, and it's 5-5 in the last 10, I'm not ever calling it a gimme until Ole Miss shows it can be a gimme.
Sure.
If Vanderbilt wins, they beat UNLV, and suddenly they're 3-3. Now it's a week 3-3. Still can't find anymore. I can't get them above 5 no matter what. I was just kind of looking through the schedule.
Ole Miss gets them to 3. If they were to win it, UNLV would get them to 4.
East Tennessee would get them to 5.
Oh, I can get them. If they beat Ole Miss, I can get them. No.
Sorry, Neil, though. Ole Miss only gets them to 2. They're 1-3.
Oh, okay. So Ole Miss would get them to 2. UNLV would get them to 3. East Tennessee would get them to 4.
And then you got to find 2 out of Missouri, Carolina, Florida, Kentucky, and Tennessee.
Kentucky and Tennessee would have to be your path.
Yeah. You're not going to Columbia, South Carolina, and winning. I don't think.
No, you're not. No. And you're not beating Florida. And I don't think they're beating Missouri.
So, yeah, Tennessee.
So that's a big game for Ole Miss. I mean, if the goal is to get to 6, this is imperative.
It's the last coin flip.
And frankly,
straight coin flip. Other games you can win, but I mean straight coin flip.
Yeah, frankly, it's not a coin flip. It's a game that you should absolutely win.
Yeah. You're favored in this one, probably like A&M's going to be favored when they come to Oxford. However, it's a very winnable game for both sides.
Yeah, that's fair. Of the 3 upcoming games, the one that I look at and go, I don't know, is the one at Missouri. And fans do the opposite. They go, oh, that's one we could get because they view Missouri in a historical prism, and they're hung up on the Wyoming game. They've played a lot better since then.
They have. They've been good.
A&M, on the other hand, because they looked good early, everyone's going, ooh, the truth is they haven't looked that good lately.
And they looked awful against Arkansas.
Arkansas very easily could have won that game.
Kellen Mond gets rattled by pressure, doesn't like any contact at all. I mean, he can get shaky in a hurry.
Well,
he doesn't do much for me.
And look, kudos to Ben Hicks because, I'm sure it's, from a human standpoint, I'm sure it sucked to lose your job the way he lost his job and then to stand there and wait. And then, boom, you're back out there and to play the way that he played. Kudos to him. I mean, you're happy for the kid, right? But at the same time, I don't think Ben Hicks is all that good.
Mm-hmm.
And he put up numbers against those cats. I think A&M's really beatable. So for Ole Miss, if they beat Vanderbilt, and again, back to the reporting angle, if they beat Vanderbilt, we go, well, okay, well, football season extends a little longer. If they lose to Vanderbilt, I know what the message board looks like on Saturday night. Holy God. It's all just fire him. My mailbag is nothing but what do you think has to happen to fire Matt Luke? What do you think has to happen to get everybody fired? Who fires who? Don't you think we just have to fire somebody? That is it. There is no more storyline at that point. They beat Vandy. The Missouri game's at least interesting, and even if they lose to Missouri, you come back, and if you can beat A&M, you set up the rest of the season, which would be beat New Mexico State and go play what I think is a very average, and that might be generous, Mississippi State team with the chance to go to the Liberty Bowl. And again, I'm talking from a reporting standpoint. What is it that you can write about that makes this thing interesting? Because the bowl is not interesting if you can't get to a bowl game, other than the rivalry part of it.
Right. We'll move on in 1 second. Podcast brought to you in part by G&M Pharmacy and Tyson Drugs, 662-236-2222. With flu season approaching quickly, and Tyson Drugs and G&M have flu vaccines available with a $0 copay on most insurance plans. No one has time to wait in line for the overt pharmacist at the chain drugstore, so stop by one of their locally owned pharmacies where they have multiple pharmacists available dedicated to getting you in and out as quickly and painlessly as possible. That's Tyson Drugs on the Square in Holly Springs, or G&M Pharmacy, again, right there on South Lamar in Oxford, 662-236-2222.
The College Corner is your one-stop Rebel shop now with 2 locations in the Jackson area, in Ridgeland next to Fleet Feet and the new location in Flowood next to Half Shell. If you don't live in Jackson, that's not a problem. You can visit them online at collegecornerstore.com, plus Facebook and Instagram. So don't waste your game day in Oxford stuck in traffic and long lines to get your gear. Stop by before you go, and their staff will have you in and out and on your way to the game. The College Corner has you covered for all your tailgate and home gate needs. The largest selection of Rebel gear in the central Mississippi area. Through the month of October, mention Rebel Grove at checkout. You'll get 15% off your entire purchase. You can also use that online. Just put Rebel Grove in the coupon tab at checkout to get the same discount. We are also brought to you by our friends at Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan, Grenada Nissan's the place to go. They've got a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles. Go in, test drive one today. Tell Gene and Sandy that you heard about Grenada Nissan on the podcast. You'll get Rebel savings on top of the already great deals at Grenada Nissan. It's GrenadaNissanUSA.com. Oxford Park Commission Youth Basketball is just a bounce away. This is the final week to sign up for the upcoming season. Registration will come to a close on Friday, October the 4th. Leagues are open for both boys and girls, ages 5 to 15. The cost to play is just $50. Visit the website, oxfordparkcommission.com, for more details on the 2019-2020 season. We're also brought to you by Oxford University Bank, OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. OUB is home to Kasasa, and with Kasasa, OUB will pay customers 2.5% interest on their balances up to $50,000. And with Kasasa, ATM fees nationwide are refunded. OUB also offers online bill pay and mobile check deposit using its online app. To learn more about OUB, check out liveoxfordbankoxford.com or call 662-234-6668. OUB is FDIC insured. And we're brought to you by Harry Alexander. Harry is an Oxford-based RE/MAX Legacy Realty agent. He's been in Oxford more than 4 decades. No one knows the residential and condo market better. He's also a huge part of Savannah Square. It's a new 9-acre development, 0.7 of a mile from the Oxford downtown square. There are several developments within different stages of construction right now at Savannah Square. If you're coming up this weekend, you want to check them out, get in touch with Harry. He'll show you those. He'll show you the model home at 215 William Street as well. It's SavannahSquareOxford.com or 662-801-5621.
So, just a couple baseball things. Schedule came out yesterday. Look, there's no reason in doing a huge analysis here of it. People are typically pretty interested. Run through that a little bit, and then also Ole Miss starts fall ball this week. All the pitchers are going to throw at some point. Nobody's shut down, which is a little uncommon. A lot of times you'll have 3 or 4 guys who are not pitching at all during the fall. Doug Nikhazy will not throw this weekend. Next weekend, Ole Miss has that Saturday thing against Arkansas State, and they will throw Nikhazy 1 inning in that game. So he's a little behind, but whatever. He pitched for Team USA all summer, and he's probably a little tired. So anyway, no big deal. Okay, so schedule comes out. Really, we knew the non-conference opponents. The big thing was what SEC teams do you skip, which ones do you play, and after a year where Ole Miss got the scheduling break of all scheduling breaks for the most part last year, not so much this year. RPI is going to be good, but assuming everybody goes to scratch, it's a really, really tough schedule. Ole Miss does not face Missouri, Tennessee, or Kentucky from the East, which means you get Vanderbilt, Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Open the season at home against Louisville. That's a 3-game set in Oxford. Hopefully the weather is decent. Usually the first weekend kind of fools you, and you get pretty good weather, and then it becomes Arctic for about a month and a half after that.
Yep.
So Louisville at home. Valentine's Day is the opener, February 14th, 15th, and 16th against Dan McDonnell and the Cardinals. a trip to Arkansas State, which is always the first Tuesday of the regular season. Xavier comes to town. I wonder if Chris Howard's going to make the trip. Maybe he'll come hang out in Oxford for a few days. Let's see. It's the year where Southern Miss is in Oxford, not in Hattiesburg. So 1 game in Oxford, 1 game in Pearl.
Yeah.
They go to the Keith LeClaire Classic in Greenville, North Carolina. Keith LeClaire was Cliff Godwin's coach at East Carolina. He passed away. Now the tournament one weekend is named after him. They will face High Points, East Carolina, and Indiana in Greenville, North Carolina, those 3 days.
Okay.
That is February 28th, 29th, and March 1st. Princeton is coming to town. Princeton, yes.
Oh. Okay.
Princeton's coming to town for 3 games, March 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Okay.
They go to ULM for 2.
Oh, yeah?
Go to ULM.
What are the dates on that?
March 10th and March 11th. They're headed to Baton Rouge for the weekend. And I'm sorry, they're coming back. Why are they doing this? This makes no sense. They go to ULM and then come back home to play LSU for 3 games.
Huh.
It's spring break is why they're doing it. But,
I started to say
go
I'll
somewhere
go,
else.
but I'll be covering the SEC tournament at that point.
Okay. Yeah, never mind. Because LSU is at home to open league play. Yeah, so they go to Monroe, Louisiana on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then come back home and play LSU on Friday.
Okay.
Whatever. It's all good.
Yeah, it's not a bad drive to Monroe. All jokes aside, about 4 hours.
No, it's fine. They go to College Station. They can hang out with Ross for a little while. Arkansas's in Oxford this season. Carolina's in Oxford this season. In Starkville, starting a ridiculous stretch here. They've got a stretch that is 3 against State, 3 against Vanderbilt, another one against State, 3 against Florida, and 3 against Georgia. Just hold on for dear life during that one.
You'll be battle tested when it's over. At least that's that much.
And when it's over, you feel really good about getting Auburn at home and then Alabama on the road to close it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a tough stretch. That's as hard as anybody's stretch in the country. Because I think Florida's probably not going to suck again. I have a hunch they're going to be okay this year.
Yeah, and I bet you the little engine that could up there in Nashville. I'm just going to tell you, they might struggle for a while, but he's going to paperclip and duct tape that thing together and
get the WD-40 out and see what happens.
I just think at some point they'll go on a run because he just gets his kids to overachieve every year.
April 17th is the day we will get Kumar in Oxford if you want to come watch a game.
I'll tell you what now. That kid's something else.
He's all right. You never would tank for a baseball player, but he'd make me think about it.
I can see myself, if I can get a good seat where I can really see his stuff, I can see myself getting a couple of beers and watching Kumar throw 7 innings and slipping out before the traffic.
We'll probably work on that. Know a guy or two.
I wouldn't mind that.
Okay. All jokes aside, I mean, here's the fan negatives for the year. Double Decker is a road series, so no home games during Double Decker. I know some people were talking about that yesterday. But
they
do what?
I guess
you can't dictate every weekend. You know what I mean? Because you're already having to dictate graduation weekend being at home.
Oh yeah.
At the end of they're always on the road the last weekend because they have graduation the week before that.
So what are their April home series again? Because I'm trying to figure out when the Grove Bowl will be.
The Grove Bowl will almost guaranteed, in my opinion, be April 4th against South Carolina on that Saturday. Ooh. That is my guess. Do what?
And so I think you're right.
Because if not that, it's going to be April 18th, and that seems late.
That seems late. No, you're probably right. Probably April 4th.
And look, I mean, buy your ticket, don't buy your ticket. Ole Miss is going to be kind of fun. This home schedule is damn good. Here's your home series this season. Louisville, Xavier, whatever, Princeton, whatever. LSU, Arkansas, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, and Auburn.
Oh, it's a
really good home schedule.
It's a great home schedule.
I mean, because Auburn's not a bad baseball team. You get Tanner Burns. That's what I'm looking at is if you're Ole Miss, and really this is not about Ole Miss. I mean, Nikhazy's going to be fine. just around this league. Because last year, and in some years, I thought it kind of lulled off a little bit. The Friday night arms in this league this year, holy crap. It's like, you look up, and it's every dang night.
Yeah, it's kind of what the league's known for, right?
It is, but just maybe even more so than usual. I mean, I'm going, whoa.
Yeah,
this is serious.
As someone who doesn't watch a lot of college baseball, in all seriousness, Nikhazy versus Rocker on a Friday night in Oxford in April.
It's a good ticket.
I'm in.
Yeah, it's a good ticket. I think it's Nikhazy. I think they're just going to throw him out there on Friday night.
Well,
in a perfect world, he could pitch on Saturday. It'd be better, but you can't. I don't like pitching backwards.
Friday night every weekend. It just haunts you.
Yeah.
You got to go compete and win some Friday nights.
It sends a bad message to your team if you don't.
Well, it also makes it where the pressure's on you every Saturday.
Yeah.
So what happens when the Saturday guy has his bad outing? The night that he just can't feel the curveball or the slider or whatnot, and he gets bounced out of there pretty quick. Well, now Sunday you're like, oh God, and you've used your bullpen, and you got to compete on Friday night.
I mean, because I haven't looked at it, and I don't know all the guys coming back. I'm not in baseball mode yet at all. But like Colin Brister on our site put this up. This is potentially who Ole Miss faces 8 of the 10 Friday nights in this league. JT Ginn at State, Asa Lacy at A&M, Tanner Burns, Cole Henry, Connor Nolan, Tommy Mace, Emerson Hancock, Kumar Rocker. Good God.
Yeah.
I mean, buckle up. Buckle up.
Sure.
And if you get to 16 and 14, your RPI is going to be like 4.
It's what I said about basketball.
Just win enough.
When the league gets really, really good, it comes down to who can survive it, who can be resilient, who can avoid losing streaks. Because, the gauntlet you just said, breaking news, you're going to get your ass kicked a few nights.
Yeah.
There you go. You're going to have some Friday nights where it's over and your interview is you already know what they're going to say. Yeah, his stuff was incredible. We just couldn't hit it.
Yeah, got to flush that one. Come back tomorrow.
Got to let it go. Thank God we're not seeing him again for a while.
Yeah, ever, hopefully.
And, and then you hope that the other team is saying that a few times about Nikhazy.
Yeah.
Just that dude, he couldn't hit him. Tip your hat. Get ready for tomorrow. Yeah. That's that league. And you're right. When you play that schedule, 15 and 15, you're in the tournament. 16 and 14, you're probably hosting.
I think they're going to hit. This team feels it's going to do whatever Gunnar Hoagland does. If he really takes a step, they might be really good. If he doesn't, it could be a little bit of a struggle. We'll see. I mean, plenty of time to talk about it. I'm just looking at the schedule, but I don't know. Interesting thoughts. Also, I'm seeing this just to help some other Ole Miss people too, as I'm kind of looking through this. And actually, it may not have been named yet. Let me check this real quick before I say this, because I may be speaking completely out of turn on this, and it'd be too early to know either way. Friday. Sorry, I know it's not good pod, but I'm checking something.
I've been accused of watching too much CNN.
What'd you do?
Oh, this is one of our friends. He's very upset about my reporting. He says, I have a very clear understanding of your job. It's not to constantly be a smart ass. Talk down to posters all the time on this board who express a different opinion than you have. You leave the impression that you're the only person who has ethics in your profession. You reported something that a kid told you that should have been verified, knowing full well that he wasn't authorized to release that information. You've obviously been watching too much CNN reporting.
Ooh.
Worked up about Kadir Shepherd-Gate.
Kadir Shepherd-Gate.
Yeah.
I was going to say Ole Miss has no Thursday to Saturday home series, but I'm only seeing one Thursday series anyway, and I think that might be something that was already set, so I'm assuming it's going to be more. So I don't think all that's even been announced yet, is my point. So I think it's too early to claim that one way or the other. I think the schedule is set at Friday to Sunday, and then they'll move anything as necessary. Okay, so Pro Football Focus grades up on the site of rebelgrove.com this morning. You can find those, and frankly, I found them a little weird this week, if you don't know the truth, but you can go check it out, see what you see. I will point out a couple things. We talked about the offensive line being better, and I do think they were better relative to competition. However, I did notice this as I was looking through some different grades and stats and stuff. Ole Miss averaged 5 yards per carry on Saturday. 2.89 yards per carry of that came after contact. So running backs did a really nice job continuing runs after they were touched on Saturday.
Yeah, I watched a replay of Alabama Ole Miss yesterday. Not like studying it, it was just on. I watched a little of it. Ely and Connor both really ran the ball well. Those are two kids that are going to complement each other really well down the road. Here's the other thing I thought interesting from Bicknell yesterday. Really high on Broker, who is a freshman, and starting to get really high on Cunningham, who's a redshirt freshman. Talking about how he used the word great for Broker, is going to be a great one. So the people who say that everything's a disaster, it's just not true. Getting a lot out of this freshman and redshirt freshman class. Getting a lot out of it. Getting a lot of the growing pains out of the way. A lot of the mistakes out of the way. Kind of looked at last year's schedule because someone asked me in the mailbag. Yeah, September's brutal. You could play well and be 2-3. But after that, there's some opportunities to get on a run with a team that at that point would kind of have some scar tissue, if you will. And I mean that in a good way. Be a little more resilient than maybe they are today.
Is it Florida that's the other East opponent next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's here. And I'm not sold on the Gators yet. They're good. And he's a really good coach. I'm not going to do the Mullen, whatever stuff. No, he's good. But I've watched them play. They're solid. But they're not Georgia or LSU or Alabama or Auburn right now. I'll be honest. I'm not convinced that they're as good as Missouri right now. Solid. And they might be even better next year. But Ole Miss is going to be better next year.
I'm not losing my train of thought, but I'm just seeing this on Twitter. Hit our board now. Are they saying they're going to wear powder blue jerseys in the next week or two?
Oh, that rumor's out there again. I asked people yesterday when I was standing around I was told that they don't exist yet.
I was told that too. I'm going off this if you haven't seen it. 18 minutes ago, and again, it's 9:06 a.m. for anybody curious. The Ole Miss official football Twitter account, there's a check mark, says coming soon with eyes, the little emoji. Hashtag wear powder blue, and then it shows a powder blue stripe being put on a football field.
Here's what I've been told. Since they're going to do that, I'm going to say what I've been told. I've been told that it takes 2 years to get uniforms
that
turned
is true. I've heard that consistently for a decade. Yes.
If what I've been told is right, they're wearing powder blue at some point next year. But that it's not ready now. But
they have fans scheduled to wear powder at Missouri next week, but I mean that wouldn't make sense.
No, because Missouri's going to wear the black.
I don't know. I'm going off a tweet here. That's all I got. But
I mean, good for them. I actually have said for a long time, I think you could make a powder blue jersey look cool.
I'd like for them to wear it with white pants, but
yeah, I think here would be my advice to them.
Here, I'm sending this to you. You can see it if you like. Good.
My advice would be to go look at the old Houston Oiler uniform and kind of try to do something with that.
Yeah, I like that. Red's a good accent.
I mean, I think they're wearing the powder blue helmet.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
But they always wear the powder blue helmet.
I mean, look, you do what you want to do. We get accused of trolling sometimes. This is trolling.
It is trolling.
And I'm fine with it. It's fun. It's just football. It's just a uniform color. At the end of the day, it's all going to be all right, one way or the other. But this is trolling.
Actually, I'm sorry. They have Ole Miss fans are supposed to wear powder blue against Vanderbilt this weekend, too. I did not realize that. Okay. If you care. I'm just bringing the news.
It's very clearly a color that is popular with the fans.
It's a good-looking color.
It's a color that nobody else has, unless I'm just having an absolute.
Well, I mean, literally, the only two that wear Italy blue are Ole Miss and the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, so nobody in the league. I guess my point is nobody in the league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's unique.
You know, Navy is not unique. Hell, half the country wears Navy.
A lot of teams wear red.
And everybody wears red. My God. Powder blue sort of your thing at Ole Miss. People say, well, tradition, whatever. I mean, I get why fans talk about tradition, but if you ask the casual college football fan, tell me about traditional uniforms, they'll say, well, Michigan,
Penn State, Alabama.
Yeah, and it probably kind of stops there.
UCLA.
The one that always cracked me up with Ole Miss was when Ole Miss would say, those are our traditional UCLA stripes. And I'm like, you just proved my point. Because UCLA doesn't say those are our traditional Ole Miss stripes. So you don't have to be married to the stripe. Although you could still have the stripe on a powder blue jersey with white pants and a
white stripe's fine. All good.
But you have to make sure at that point, as we become uniform snobs, the powder blue helmet has to match the jersey, or you need to go back to a white helmet.
Because otherwise, you just got too many shades up there. You look like you've been to Walmart grabbing your clothing.
You start looking like the Oklahoma City Thunder road blue uniform, which is just like, hey, what other color can we add to this?
Yeah. Oh, probably have a little more uniform.
You know that the Grizzlies have like 82 shades of blue, and it's kind of like, can you just pick two?
Two.
Just pick something.
Yeah. All right, we'll continue in a second. First, tell you about Community Mortgage, Oxford, Memphis, Soto County, and Chattanooga. All underwriting and processing is done in Memphis, so you're getting local underwriting that understands your market. A leader in condo financing, the float down option, and with rates as low as they've been in about 2 years. Good time to talk to Jason, 662-234-2704, or JLOWE at communitymtg.com.
We're also brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. John's right now on a cruise. He's going to have some photos up on his Instagram, JCT Edwards on Instagram. You should check it out. He goes on some really cool trips, and he can send you on some really cool trips. He's part of Virtuoso, which allows him to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits that are simply not available to other travelers. Bottom line is he knows travel secrets that you just don't know and you can't find on your own because that's not what you do. So give him a call, give him an email, give him some parameters, give him a budget, and let him give you some options, and then you can figure out what you want to do from there. 901-494-3387 or jedwards at regencytravel.net. First-time clients can save $50 off their first booked trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast. Join the Ole Miss football team back in the vault for an SEC showdown and homecoming on Saturday. For more information, visit OleMissTix.com. The 2019-2020 hoops season just around the corner. Don't miss any of the action of Coach Yo's women's basketball team, Coach Kermit Davis's men's team this season in the pavilion. For tickets, visit OleMissTix.com and join the Ole Miss men's and women's hoops teams on Friday, October the 18th. For Square Jam on the Oxford Square. Bring the family out to the free event. featuring skills contest, player autographs, and a dunk contest to cap off the night. For more info, visit OleMissSports.com. We're also brought to you by the Westin Jackson. They sponsor my mailbag, which is up at rebelgrove.com. Got some creative questions this week in the mailbag, and you can go there and have creative craft cocktails at Estelle Wine Bar and Bistro. Also enjoy their curated wine list and Chef Caden's mini offerings. And then you can visit Soul Spa. It's the ultimate luxury spa experience in downtown Jackson. We will have a Mind on My Money podcast up later today. We talked cord cutting, broadband internet, and more yesterday. You'll hear it today. Mind on My Money brought to you by Pinnacle Trust. Pinnacle Trust, based in Madison, Mississippi, represents clients in more than 20 states, has advisors in several states as well. Been around more than 20 years. They have detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and so much more. At Pinnacle Trust, investing's treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. So go there, pintrust.com, P-I-N-N trust.com. Mention you heard about Pinnacle Trust on the podcast. You'll get 10% off your first year's fee. And we'll have picks up tomorrow. Picks sponsored by Southern Craft Stove and Tap, located off Highway 7 and Sisk Avenue. Southern Craft Stove and Tap places an emphasis on food and atmosphere, mixing the quality of fine dining with the come-as-you-are environment, featuring 30 craft beers and offering a high-quality selection of cuisine and libations. Southern Craft Stove and Tap has you covered for any occasion. Join them for lunch, dinner, Sunday brunch, or have your favorites catered out. Catering orders placed online currently receive $25 off any order totaling $100 or more, so avoid the chaos of parking on the square. Head over and experience carefully crafted dishes with your favorite Southern ingredients. Southern Craft Stove and Tap, Highway 7 and Sisk Avenue in Oxford.
So the internet will handle these quotes really, really well, as I'm sure. Archie Manning, speaking to USA Today, said that his grandson, Arch Manning, quote, ahead of Peyton and Eli at this stage of his career. No one will even mention that, make that hyperbolic or anything. It'll just go straight through as intended from Mr. Manning.
So young Arch Manning is now going to win at least 2 Super Bowls. And if he's ahead of Peyton, gosh, if you extrapolate that out, he'll be one of the 2 best quarterbacks of all time.
Quote, he's probably a little ahead of them as a freshman, said when asked if he thinks Arch could be better than his uncles, Peyton and Eli. They played junior varsity as freshmen, started as sophomores. Arch, now a 6'1" quarterback in the class of 2023, is the varsity quarterback. So
Cooper gets the last laugh after all.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's
fitting.
Archie says he refuses to. He's not letting anybody talk to coaches or media. Says their theme is let Arch be a freshman. Easier said than done, Mr. Manning.
Not letting him talk to media?
Apparently, yes. That is the way I understand it.
Well, I don't blame him. He's a freshman. I don't think we should be interviewing high school freshmen.
Yeah. Said from an athleticism standpoint, he actually does remind him of Cooper, who was the best athlete of the 3 sons.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Archie says Arch is playing good. He's on a good team. They're having a lot of success, having a lot of fun. That's the way it should be. It's one thing I told my kids, and I'll tell Arch the day before a game, let's just go have some fun.
Sure.
So, he said they did the Friday night thing for years and years. They spent Saturday, and we've done Sundays, and it looked like we were about through with all that, and here we are on Friday nights again. So, anyway.
That's great.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm just pointing that out. It was on our message board. I know you're shocked.
That recruiting won't be high intensity.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh.
Person, I do look, the kid's going to have fun. He's going to go where he wants to go, blah, blah, blah. I feel a little sorry for Cooper and his wife in it. Just because I know how crazies get.
Well, I mean, we saw a similar thing play out with Peyton.
Yeah.
And now, look, Arch might commit to Ole Miss in 6 months. I have no clue.
Yeah, I have no idea. No idea. But, who knows?
We'll see. Just I thought this suspension was quite lengthy. I'll read this, even though no one's ever heard of this human and probably won't ever again. So, the Korean golf tour. Probably didn't know I was going there next, did you?
You're going to be shocked. I actually know the story you're about to tell me.
They've suspended current money leader, so their best player, for whatever that's worth, Bio Kim, I don't know, for 3 years after he made an obscene gesture to fans during the final round of a tournament this past weekend, holding a one-shot lead on the 16th hole of the DGB Financial Group something or other in South Korea. Kim reacted angrily after a cell phone camera went off during his downswing. His drive ended up going about 100 yards, according to the Korea Herald. The Korea Herald sounds like a very made-up newspaper in a communist state, by the way. After the poor shot, Kim, 29 years old, turned to the crowd, flipped off fans, and slammed his driver into the ground. The incident was captured on live TV in Korea. On Monday, the Korean Professional Golfers Association, which operates the Korean Tour, voted unanimously to suspend Kim for the next 3 years. It fined him about $8,300 in U.S. currency. In a statement, the Korean Tour said Kim Bio damaged the dignity of a golfer with etiquette violation and inappropriate behavior. Long suspension. Definitely pretty zero tolerance there. My question is, what would the punishment be on the PGA Tour had Rory McIlroy done the exact same thing? No way in hell he's suspended 3 years.
No. I'm not sure he's suspended 3 minutes.
Yeah, Jay Monahan, the commissioner of the PGA Tour, is going, hey, I know, I get we got the players next week, but Rory probably shouldn't be there. We probably should suspend him for next week for that one.
Probably a note that says, Dear Mr. McElroy, it has come to our attention that you lost your composure on the course. We ask in the future that you make every possible effort to not flip off one of our patrons. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Yeah. Thank you for living in America and playing on the PGA Tour.
Yes. Let us know if there's anything we can do. Try not to do that again if possible.
That guy deserved it, didn't he, really, Rory? I mean, come on.
I get it, dude. He was a jerk. It would have pissed me off, too. But
what's that guy's name? He's banned for life. That dude, he's out.
Yeah. Also, we would like to inform you that the offending camera person has been banned forever.
It would be funny from a sliding scale, though, because the dude that's ranked like 180th in the world would get more punishment than everybody else, the other dudes.
In America? Yeah, he might get a one tournament suspension.
Just set an example on that cat.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful about precedents.
Yeah, that's why I don't think anything would really happen. I just think we're a little more laid back.
Well, that's true, too. We are.
Totally different culture.
I mean, Tiger used to yell at people in the middle, that did that crap all the time.
Huh?
I mean, Tiger used to yell at people who did all the cell phone stuff all the time.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, if you're a fan at a golf tournament, you sort of know you're not supposed to do that. So don't do it. Just watch the dude hit the ball. And then go, ooh, and everybody yell, get in the hole, whatever.
Also shows you how different money is, because those two do not go together from any semblance of what we understand as compensation on a professional level. Dude got suspended 3 years, but only got fined $8,000 in U.S. currency. I don't know what conversion rates are. Beats me. So, anyway. Doug Gottlieb. Whoa.
Yeah, we haven't talked about this. I don't know what Gottlieb did. I'm assuming it's something to do with the act in California.
Well, here's my deal with it. It's made it very easy for all of us to see who the freedom fighters are, because they all have these really stupid opinions on Twitter, and they're being very, very vocal about them. I mean, if nothing else, I'm really enjoying this from the standpoint of you can just scroll through Twitter and they are itemizing themselves. You can see exactly how big of either shills or morons these human beings are right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chase, it's more than just the shills who want the the jumbo shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo's. It's also, you find out who's just not smart. Because these people that are like, well, boy, now that the NCAA is paying players, now that the schools are paying players, guys,
They're not.
they're not. And here's the other thing, that the freedom fighters who are always, boy, I really care about the volleyball, the girls soccer player. I really care about the women's gymnast. This rule lets them go out like a girls soccer player, okay? It lets her be at a clinic and get paid for it. It lets her go to the local camp and get paid to teach little girls how to dribble a soccer ball or whatnot. It lets her have who's a star soccer player? The girl from Oxford that's a freshman at Ole Miss, who frankly has a really compelling story, and we probably need to tell it, because her mother was battling cancer, and it lets her, a girl who
Or I mean, not to cut you off, but I mean, you went soccer. I mean, CeCe Kaiser just finished her career. She was the all-time goals leader. Okay,
let's use her.
yeah.
A lot of kids around Oxford know who that is. People know who that is. It lets her have a CeCe Kaiser soccer clinic where little boys and little girls, but mostly little girls probably, get invited out to F&C Park, and CeCe Kaiser's out there, and she shows them the proper way to kick a ball, and they have a fun day and have some orange slices and a juice box and go about their way, and it's $50 a kid, and she gets to keep her portion of it after she pays overhead or whatnot. Why are we not for that? Why can't let's just, I'll use a great example because everybody's in love with this kid right now, and he does seem to be a great kid. John Rice Plumlee, let's say he turns into kind of Ole Miss's version of a Tim Tebow, okay? Why can't John Rice Plumlee have a John Rice Plumlee football camp? You don't think a bunch of little boys would want to go to the John Rice Plumlee football camp if he ends up being a star, do you? Why not? Who's that hurt? Who gets hurt if he cashes in on his name and likeness? Because guess what? And cut me off, Chase, if you ever think I say anything unfair here.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've seen so far, I don't like his chances of being an NFL quarterback. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, we're a game into his career, but sure. Yeah.
What I have seen so far, the first time I ever saw Tua throw a ball, I went NFL. I've yet to see Plumlee do something that makes me go, yeah, he could play for the Lions. Now, maybe the NFL game changes, blah, 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 blah. Don't get hung up on that. But if I'm right, and he ends up being a very good college player who doesn't project to the NFL as a quarterback, he's just opened up his 4.5 to 5 year window of being able to cash in. Why should he not be able to? And who does it hurt if he does? That's the bigger question. The answer is no one. The schools aren't paying him. He's getting out. It frees him up to get outside money legally. Nobody gets hurt. Oh, it just tears the fabric of the college game. Shut up. If you really believe that, you are burying your head in the sand. Well, it creates a system where the power schools are going to get the power players. Sort of like the system today.
Well, or Darren Ravel going on and on and on about how, it creates free market capitalism. Good. Okay. Cool.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Okay.
It's free market capitalist now. Sometimes I'm scared to do it because of who I work for. When someone says, do you think if school X has a winning season, it's going to impact what happens with recruit X? Well, yeah, if they pay him more. That's the answer. I don't know. How much is School Y paying? What kind of deals are they putting together? That's the answer. And people say, why are you being a jerk? I'm not being a jerk. I'm being honest. No. Is the kid going to say, well, School Y was going to take care of my mama and do this and this and this, but boy, School X just went 10-2. I just like that winning, man. Woo! So I'm going to go to School X. That doesn't happen. They go to School Y and they get the package, and they also tell themselves when I get there, they'll win more because I'm better than everybody on that damn roster. Everybody's been kissing my ass since I was a sixth grader. I'm going there. I'll win anywhere. Let me take care of my people. And for the record, I'm not making fun of that kid. Get it while you can. Turn on a football game any day and you can watch somebody have a catastrophic injury where their earning power disappears with the crack of a bone. Get it while you can. I don't have a problem with it. This allows some of that stuff maybe to fade into the underground a little more. Oh, yeah, there's still going to be cheating, but now you don't really have to cheat if all this passes. Well, there's going to be a Mercedes dealership, and okay, well, it'll be out in the open.
Yeah, if some dude wants to crazy overpay, as long as it's public, whatever, don't care.
Yeah, I mean, kind of puts it out in the open. Hey, if you sign with this school, you're going to get a free Mercedes. Okay, well, that Mercedes dealer is probably going to get criticized. And also, when let's use Alabama, for example. Well, he just absolutely distanced himself from every Auburn or any other fan because a lot of those people will say, because you know how people are, well, I'm not going to go there and buy a car. So from a business standpoint, you have to be kind of careful with making the Alabama quarterback the face of your dealership.
Oh, well, I mean, look, it's what we deal with, some on steroids. I mean, we've had potential advertisers go, hey, I'm scared of advertising with you because there's not a state equivalent I can advertise with.
Have a very high profile, I won't use their name, I won't want to embarrass them, but a very profile company that knows our advertising works, wants to advertise with us, and has gone down the road a couple of times all the way to the end, and then it's, hey, is there a state podcast that's similar to this? Because if there is, we'll go in with them too. Well, there's not. There's nobody that's been doing what we've done who built up what we've built up. So no, and it's like, gosh, I want to advertise because I know it would work, but would we alienate Mississippi State fans? So we're not going to do it. Sorry. That's happened to us a lot. So if you're that Mercedes dealer, the answer in Alabama is that you got to sponsor an Auburn kid too. Got to make an Auburn kid the face of your billboard too. So now who benefits? The kids. And now if you want to give away privately 20 Mercedes to kids, now you're committing an NCAA violation, and if you get caught, you're going to get hammered.
That's a good point. I don't really think about that too, but anyway, yeah, it's all out in the open. Everybody giving an opinion, so you can sort it quickly as to what you want to see and who is saying what. So
cleanses things.
Yeah. Well,
hey, Blue Jeans Chase is going to be in New Orleans and Houston the rest of this week. I think they're still in Florida a little bit today. New Orleans tomorrow, Houston Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So. If you want to get a private fitting and you live in the Houston area, you live in New Orleans, give them an email, info@bluedeltajeans.com, info@bluedeltajeans.com. They'll set you up, book an appointment, get a private fitting. You'll love it. You'll also can ask them about the Gino. They're pre-selling the fabric, soft, comfortable, great group of colors. Sewing begins at the end of this month. You don't want to miss this opportunity. Reserve your spot in the first run of this great new fabric line from Blue Delta Jeans. We are also brought to you by Dead Soxy. If you're searching for that unique way to brand your company swag, have a special event to memorialize, Dead Soxy has you covered with their custom sock program. Click on the custom socks link. They'll walk you through the entire process, from the complimentary digital mock-up before your order is placed to delivery logistics and even custom packaging. Dead Soxy is your place to create a gift they will use time and time again with all-inclusive pricing, no upcharges or fine print. The custom sock design process is as simple as it gets. So head over to deadsoxy.com, deadsoxy.com/custom. Remember, you can still save 30% on general orders with the promo code Rebel Grove. And we're brought to you by Splinter Creek. Splinter Creek's a gated conservation community located 8 miles southwest of Oxford, 75 minutes from the Memphis airport. You can check out the website, see some photos at splintercreekms.com. The photos are gorgeous, but they really don't do justice to how beautiful this area is. If you're thinking about retiring in Oxford, relocating to Oxford, check it out. It's like I said, it's about 8 minutes from Oxford, and it is beautiful land, lakefront lots ranging in size from 2 to 25 acres, 650 acres of lakes, pine and hardwood forest, private roads, cycling trails, hiking trails, pretty much everything you could want. Absolutely gorgeous. The lakes are stocked with copper-nosed bluegill, brim, and largemouth bass. Check it out at splintercreekms.com or call Tom Smith Land and Homes to book your tour today, 601-898-2772.
Podcast is brought to you by Visit Oxford. Visit oxfordms.com is the website. Bookmark it. Look at it often to see what's going on locally for game weekends and just the normal week as well. Everything from today. You got South Talks lectures at Bernard Observatory tomorrow. Thacker Mountain Radio, 6 to 7:30 at Off Square Books. Live on the Lawn is tomorrow from Friday from 11:30 to 1 as well at the University Museum, and the double-decker bus tours every Friday of home football weekends, 4 to 5 o'clock, right down in front of Visit Oxford, right off the square there in Oxford. The homecoming parade, 5:30 on Friday, so just be aware of that either direction. And then obviously Ole Miss and Vanderbilt on Saturday night from Vaught Hemingway. So all the events, where to eat, where to stay, what to do, visit oxfordms.com/events. So, saw this a second ago, come across Twitter. I guess there's no vendors, so it's a little different. See where the guy tried to scam people at Dolphins games over the weekend? So you go to a Dolphins game, they suck. They suck on purpose. They not only do they not win, they don't even cover these obscene lines that keep happening to them.
They're tanking for Tua.
Yeah, Vegas can't make it work no matter what from a line standpoint. So, says here, reading from the Miami Herald, when buying drinks at Miami sporting events, fans can generally expect to make a few financial concessions, chiefly eating that extra few dollars vendors tack on to food and drink purchases. Selling ordinary cheap beer for a few dollars may seem more like a scam to some fans, but on Sunday afternoon, a rogue beer vendor took surge pricing to criminal levels, according to police. Nathan Collier, a 33-year-old walking vendor, was busted at Sunday's Miami Dolphins game for charging a fan $724 for 2 beers. Miami-Dade police said. As the Los Angeles Chargers robbed fans of any hope for a win on Sunday, the team remains winless, by the way, Collier tried making off with hundreds of dollars from an unsuspecting fan. He grabbed the fan's card and swiped it using a personal card reader, not the device the stadium provides to vendors. According to the report, shortly after the transaction was processed, the fan received an alert from his bank notifying him of the steep charge to his card. It also displayed the vendor's name. He was not working for the Dolphins or Hard Rock Stadium, but for a Kentucky-based subcontractor that employs walking vendors at major sporting events around the country. He has been arrested and has issued a $10,000 bond for trying to get $724 for 2 beers.
Wow.
You know, you could get a little upcharge and nobody would notice it, but $700 is probably going to flag that credit card.
Yeah, that's
for a beer.
If you're going to scam, you need to come up with a better scam than that.
You got to be smart.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, be a good con man.
You earn $1 there enough times, and you got a little money, and nobody caught it.
Just it's the instant gratification society today. Everybody trying to do it immediately, aren't they? That's the problem. I don't know. I just saw it and thought, okay, whatever. Oh gosh, halfway through this thing here in a day or two.
Yeah, we're there. Vanderbilt game 6. A&M in 2 weeks is game 8. It goes fast. Life comes at you fast, Chase.
Well, and we cover an athletic program with a fan base right now that, frankly, has turned their eye toward basketball already.
Yeah, Saturday could turn more than the eye.
The entire head may turn, is what you're saying?
Whole body.
What is the first game? November, we got 6 weeks?
It's November the 8th, I think. It's 7th or 8th. It's the day before the New Mexico State litmus game. They play Arkansas State that Friday night at 6.
Okay.
That's the opener, not the exhibition?
Yeah, that's the actual first game that counts.
Okay.
They play Mississippi College in an exhibition. I don't know when that is. I'm sorry.
Okay. MC is D2 now? Is that correct?
I'm not going to argue with you.
Okay. I think they're Division 2. I'm pretty sure. Just in the last few minutes here, I don't have really any Chancellor update. I will say that I think interviews start today or tomorrow, and it appears that several people have gone dark or pulled out of this thing. We know Kelly Damphouse at Arkansas State's out. There's a rumor going around the Toledo president has pulled out, although I have not spent 2 seconds trying to confirm that. I've heard nothing but negative things about Bobby Robbins staying in this thing, even though I hate to say out because that's too strong. Hardgrave really wants it, and frankly, given the way the search is trending right now, that feels like a miracle for Ole Miss if that could get done. And I mean that as in they could come out smelling really well through a really
it just
odd
makes
process.
a lot of sense.
He wants the gig. I have no doubts about that from everything I'm hearing. He is trying intently to get this job.
It just, to me, and I said this yesterday, so I'm not going to do it all over again, but he's been at 2 places that are a lot like this place. He's known for having people skills. He's been at 2 places that are commended for their ability to recruit students, not football players and stuff, students. Ole Miss needs to recruit students. He's been at 2 places that are pretty good about having an identity. Ole Miss, I think, kind of needs to solidify identity, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I've said this on the record many times. This is a great place. Oxford's great. Ole Miss is great. But sometimes any place, any person can lose his or her way a little bit. That doesn't mean that you're lost forever. It just means you kind of need, you put on a few pounds. Your wardrobe gets a little stale. You need to clean it up a little. Need to get in the gym a little bit. Jump some rope. Get some Blue Delta jeans. Feel a little better about it. That's kind of where Ole Miss is. Just needs to trim up a little. Fix it up. He knows how to do that. He's been at places where they're really good at that stuff. And Ole Miss is very similar to Arkansas and Auburn. Don't overthink it. Stay in your lane. That's what Ole Miss needs to do. Get somebody who knows how to message a little bit. Get somebody who understands this part of the country, this league, this conference, if you will. Know the importance of athletics as a window, front door, all that stuff. And then don't overthink it. You don't have to have a revolutionary come in. Just have somebody who knows how to raise money, put focus on recruiting. Auburn, for example, is great at recruiting in-state kids in Alabama. They get it. They recruit Atlanta hard. They recruit Nashville hard. They recruit the state of Alabama hard. And they have good programs, and they get kids. And I've said this before, that's your business. You're in the business of recruiting students. And you want to recruit good students. It's very competitive out there. You want the kids with the good test scores. Those kids have better odds. I mean, all kids are going to F it up, right? At some point, you're going to have F-ups. There are kids with 33 ACTs who will flunk out of college somewhere. Just how it works. And there's kids with 21 ACTs who are going to make 3 8s and go on to become CEOs somewhere. But those are outliers. As a rule, the smarter kids do well and get jobs, and you want them to be engaged alumni one day. This isn't complicated. You don't do that by bringing in people who are going to absolutely radicalize the university. And I'm not talking about Howard or anyone. I'm just talking in general. Get somebody who sort of understands the culture of the league. All these schools are pretty much the same. It's your ability to sell it.
I'm closing the podcast here with this because it's making my eyes bleed. And I get that it's just a quote, and I don't know what the hell they're actually talking about. But this is the propaganda stuff that confuses people and is driving me insane. Darren Ravel, an hour ago. Chicago Sports Summit, whatever the heck that is. Just all he does is put this quote up. DePaul Athletic Director Gene Lenti Ponsetto, quote, having negotiate salaries with athletes would be the demise of intercollegiate athletics as we know it. No one is saying that. Ever.
Literally, that is not even on the table. You're not negotiating anything.
It's all these strawman arguments to knock the whole thing down.
But you know what it tells you? Is it tells you just how terrified they are of what? What is it they're so scared of? Their own money train? I don't even think it affects their money train. It's not going to stop Ford, for example, from being the official truck of the Ole Miss Rebels or the Auburn Tigers or the Florida Gators. It's not going to stop that. It's not going to stop Bancorp South from being the official bank of the Arkansas Razorbacks or whoever. AT&T, the official phone provider for the Michigan Wolverines. You're not going to. AT&T is not going to go, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're not going to do Michigan anymore. Instead, we're going to do the quarterback.
Yeah.
What it might do is it might get somebody who can't afford to be the official jeweler of the Ole Miss Rebels to get the women's basketball player who is super popular around town somewhere to be on a billboard or something wearing their jewelry. I don't know. I'm just using stuff flying off the top of my head. Yeah. Where that person puts $500 in her pocket. Because here's the thing, man. Normal college kids, like my kid, she's not doing it right now because we're like, hey, figure out school, get used to this. But, I mean, at some point I'm saying, hey, go get a part-time job. Make a little spending money so that I don't have to supplement you all the time. John Rice Plumlee doesn't have time to get a job. He doesn't have his summer free to go. Like Campbell wants to be a camp counselor and make some money this summer. I'm like, yes. He can't do that. He's got to work out every morning at 6 a.m. and go to class and throw and stuff. Voluntarily, quote, end quote. Yeah. Why can't the kids have an opportunity to make something off their name and likeness? Let the people start the video game back up where you can sit at home and play on your PS4 or whatever it is now, and you can be Bo Nix. And on the screen, it has his name and his number, and he gets a share of the proceeds, as does everybody else. It's not much, but it's a little something. Why not?
I have a feeling we'll continue to talk about this for days and months and, frankly, years. So, that's where we're at today.
I think it's a big story that is just getting started.
Yeah, I agree. Florida's jumped in now. It's going on and on and on. So, anyway, rebelgrove.com, grades up, some other stuff, a good bit of baseball, a little more of that coming as well. Basketball, obviously, not that far away. And then we're moving toward Ole Miss and Vanderbilt Saturday night from Vaught Hemingway. We'll talk to you tomorrow.